Hello, everyone. My name is Jérôme Radiguet, and I'm the head of marketing and communication here at Octopia. I'd like to thank all and each of you for attending this webinar. We currently have 12 different countries, attendees from 12 different countries. So I guess the questions will be numerous and very rich, very interesting. As some of you may already know, we do organize webinars in 3 different languages, addressing the key points of marketplaces, what we call the hows, how to build a business plan, how to onboard merchants, how to deliver the best last mile experience for your clients. And today is a very special day, very special event, because we have Thomas Métivier, our CEO, who will answer your question for the next 40 to 45 minutes. Thomas, welcome, and thank you for attending this webinar.
Hi, everyone. Very nice being there today.
Maybe, Thomas, you could tell us in a couple of words who you are and briefly introduce Octopia to our attendees.
Yes, thank you very much, Jérôme. So I'm Thomas Métivier. I'm the CEO of Octopia. I was previously the head of marketplace strategy and international development at Cdiscount, the French e-commerce leader, one of the leading marketplaces in Europe. And we've decided to provide our technology and access to our merchants base, our 15,000 merchants that have been curated and selected over 12 years of marketplace operations, to other retailers, other brands, or industry leaders to help them and help all of them build their marketplace and change their value proposal for their consumers. Considering that, and we will discuss that a bit more in a couple of minutes, that we are now in an era of convenience. Consumers are looking for a lot of choice, a lot of easiness in consumer experience, in delivery, and that we have the tools and we provide the tools for retailers to deliver this promise of convenience to their final consumer. So thank you very much for being there today. We'll talk about that, and we're very happy to answer to your questions to help you understand a bit more how the marketplace model works, what are the key levels of success, and to become successful in this marketplace world, and making sure that you provide and you can build, thanks to the marketplace model, the right consumer experience.
So thank you, Thomas, for this introduction. You're already jumping into the marketplace of convenience, or world of convenience. So maybe let me share my screen, and we prepared a brief introduction and a couple of slides to illustrate who is Octopia and the concept of convenience that Thomas is already introducing. And then in only a couple of minutes, we will move to your questions that we are receiving right now. So as you introduced Octopia, maybe a couple of figures about who we are, where we come from, and the perspective for the next years.
So yes, I'm very glad to present Octopia to you. We are today more than 500 people working at Octopia, with marketplace experts, with people coming from the B2B world, from the tech SaaS world, to build a very strong platform to help you deliver the convenience to your consumers. And to do that, we are leveraging more than 10 years of experience as a marketplace operator, when we were, I would say, the kind of marketplace department of Cdiscount. And we've now more than 100 customers in 20 countries, relying on our platforms to expand their product offering to their final consumers. And the subsidiary has been created in last year, and we are now deploying mainly in Europe, but we also have some customers out of Europe. And we're expanding first by building a European logistic network. We're very strong in France. We are already open a warehouse in Spain, and we will open warehouses in Germany, in the UK this year. And we are also opening sales offices across Europe to be close to our customers, to our partners, to help them reach and deliver this ambition of convenience.
we have logistics in some of the key European countries. And how many countries are we delivering right now? I guess it's like 20 or 25 countries.
Yes, we are delivering to more than 20 different countries, mainly in Europe. And it's something which is very appreciated by the merchants we are working for, as we are able to deliver this and to do the logistics for merchants. And we ship more than 10 million parcels every year on behalf of our merchants.
Yeah, 10 million parcels, which is definitely huge. So maybe switching rapidly to the convenience and maybe express a little bit what we mean by a marketplace of convenience. And then we start with the question that we already received.
Yes, as I already tell you, we launched Octopia because thanks to discussion with other e-commerce players, other retailers, we've identified that we were all struggling to offer more products and more broader offering to our final consumers, and that's something which is visible in every industry. In lots of industry, you see platforms that are now delivering a more convenient, more richer experience to the consumers. It is the way you shop for food with Deliveroo, the way you order a taxi with Uber, the way you rest with Airbnb. In all those situations, platforms are completely changed the way we consume, and they are offering a very easy experience and they are leveraging, and they can do that by leveraging a very strong network of partners. And so the idea is really having platforms that are transforming the way we consume, and we decided that we want to have everything in a couple of seconds, and they are then using partners all over the world to deliver concretely the experience to their consumers. And that's exactly what we see in the retail industry. In the retail industry, we clearly there is a switch in the way the consumption happens. The consumers are looking for websites, for retailers that can offer them very, very broad choice, available anywhere at any time and with very good prices, and with a very efficient I would say customer experience, both before their purchase and after their purchase, with delivery, the returns, the after sales. And the ones that are today delivering this ambition are the leading marketplaces, and they are reshaping the way consumers are shopping, and they are building this need for convenience. And clearly, when you think at how you're doing your Christmas gifts, it's not the same way it was 20 years ago. And now most of us are just shopping online because it's easier, it's more convenient, and we are sure that we will have a very good experience from end to end. But to do that, and there is some very, and by doing that, the marketplaces are really reshaping, transforming, and are grabbing the growth of e-commerce. Marketplaces now represent 75% of the total e-commerce. 75% of sales are passing through marketplaces, and they are growing 20% year on year. And that's something which is very significant, as you see it, because as they are answering the needs of consumers in a very efficient way, and they are progressively transforming the consumer expectations and bringing the consumers to consider that they want this kind of convenience for their daily shopping, they are able to aggregate more and more volume. And that's a clear challenge for existing retailer and for newcomers. How do you compete in this era of convenience, knowing that by becoming a convenience platform, by becoming a platform that delivers this level of convenience, by creating this ecosystem of partners, by creating this ecosystem and being able to leverage this network of partners, you can enlarge your value offering with more products, more servicing, and a better pricing. It will drive the consumer engagement. We clearly see that marketplaces have stronger repeat purchase rates compared to usual retail. clearly generating more revenues because you generate more repeats. Consumers are buying more from your website, and you can sell additional services to merchants thanks to the commission and all the monetization, all the advertising you can sell to the merchants. And then you can do all that by outsourcing lots of cost and complexity. So clearly today, there is a very strong virtuous cycle when you reach this level of delivering this convenience. But there is also very strong challenges to be there. The first one is creating and nurturing this ecosystem of merchants. Today, you have millions of merchants that are selling on marketplaces, mainly on leading ones, but they are very concentrated on very few number of marketplaces. And so that's the idea behind the launch of Octopia is how do we provide technology, very strong access to merchants for every retailer, every brand to be able to build its marketplace and to recruit the merchants they need without having to build very strong teams, costly teams to recruit merchants from all over the world. And so that's why in Octopia, we've clearly created this ability to connect easily thousands of merchants to hundreds of and thousands of websites, making sure that we do it as efficiently as possible to offer to every partner we have the ability to build the right and sell the right product they need to enrich and offer the right customer experience. So that's clearly our ambition. That's clearly what we are delivering, and we are now in launching in the coming weeks a very big partner with a leading retailer, and we will be able to launch their marketplace with 1 million products. And this 1 million products offering and catalog is built from more than 3 million products that have been offered by merchants. So they've been able to select from a potential catalog of 3 million products, the 1 million product they want to have on their website to offer the right customer experience to their local consumer. And that's clearly what we want to build and what we are currently building in Octopia.
Okay, very good. So definitely, this was a very complete introduction. Thank you, Thomas. I propose we now switch to the questions, and we do have a few first questions which I'm trying to gather into a couple of current points. So the first one, maybe around technology. The question is, can you integrate your solution with all IT and front-end architectures available on the market? So do we have any kind of limitations, or are we capable to integrate almost everything, every solution in the market?
Yes. Clearly, the Octopia platform is a SaaS platform with full API solution, and so our partners are building and creating the integration between the Octopia set of APIs and their own back office and their own IT architecture. We have some solution for websites, such as for example Magento, where we can provide a very efficient plugin to ease this integration. But we're definitely able to be plugged to any existing IT system.
So we have a whole set of APIs available, but also pre-built plugins to easily integrate some of the solutions. And you just mentioned the Magento, for instance.
Yeah.
Very good. Another tech question is Octopia. Is Octopia a SaaS model? What does this mean concretely for an operator?
It means that we host the platform that allows merchants to create the products, set their prices, update their inventory, manage their orders, and discuss with the final consumers, for example, when there is a claim, an after-sales claim. And we provide all the access for the marketplace operator, for our partners to operate its marketplace, to select the merchants, select the product they want in the catalog, to do all their quality monitoring. And so we provide all the right tools. So we have the seller portal, we have the operator portal that are hosted at Octopia, and our partners, the marketplace operator, has just to integrate the APIs from our platform to be able to feed their website with the product data, all the information to update the prices and the stocks, and to send us the order. So they're very, very efficient way, and we maximize in our platform all the scale effect, all the synergies for the merchants, for them to be able to join hundreds of marketplaces at nearly zero cost, making sure that we can provide a very big opportunity and very strong potential of catalog for website, whatever their size or their business or their category. And that's up to them, up to our partners to select if they want to have 1,000 very, very specific and targeted products, or hundreds of thousands or millions of products if they want to have a more broad offering, depending on their strategy, the ability of their IT system. But we manage all this complexity in the platform we host and we offer as a SaaS solution.
Okay, very good, very clear. I do have a question about competition on the market. So there are other players in the market. Are there any major differentiators across tech solutions on the market?
Clearly, Octopia is really apart from existing solution. We provide the technology, which is something which is mandatory to be part of this platform economy, but the technology is far from sufficient. It's a bit as if you have a really nice shelf, but when you have no book in it, it will be very difficult to offer and to read something. So it's Octopia. We believe that we need the technology and we provide it, but we also need to provide the direct access to merchants, access to product data, access to logistics, to be able to offer the full range of services that make convenience accessible and that bring the right level of convenience to the final consumer. Because at the end of the day, the question for our partners and our clients is not, is my marketplace working? It is, am I changing the way my consumers are shopping? Am I changing the way consumers are seeing me, the value proposition I have for my consumers? And to do that, to change your value proposition, to enrich it in a way that's visible and that's clearly visible by the consumer, you need to have the right partners, you need to have the right products, you need to have the right quality of service. And that's what we provide at Octopia. And by doing that, we are very different from existing solution that's mostly focused on the tech platform. But with the tech platform, you don't really bring this convenience to life.
So that's very interesting. So if I try to put this in a nutshell, so you said that the added value is not in the technology, because the technology is not perceived by the end customer, but in all the other services that Octopia brings to the operator, meaning the assortment, so the capacity to onboard easily, and then we have a few questions about that, to onboard massively sellers, to bring logistics, to all the services that create value for the end customer, and not the tech. Okay, very good. So moving to another point about sellers. So you just mentioned that one of your clients would have 1 million projects for its go live. Is there an ideal or perfect number of sellers to launch a marketplace?
I think the question is not about the number of sellers. The question is about what are the products you need to fulfill this promise of convenience. But clearly, it's not a matter of having 10 or 20 merchants. You need to be really to compete with leading platforms and to offer this level of service and of quality. You need to have hundreds of merchants or thousands of merchants. It will depend on the number of categories you want to cover. It will depend your strategy and the way the marketplace will interact with essentially your existing offering. But clearly, you need to look at something significant. And then the question is, it's once you have the merchants, what are the products that are really interesting for you? For me, the question is not only about merchants, it's much more about products. Do you have the products you need? Do you have the prices you need? And the more merchants you will have active in the marketplace, the more likely you will have the the right product, and you will be able to select the right product, because you can have a merchant and say, okay, this merchant is interesting, but I don't want this and this product, I want this one. And that's something which is very easy with Octopia. There is a way we've built it, with this ability to unpick and select the product you want from the existing catalog of the merchants we're working with and you will be working with.
So mentioning the catalog and products, one question is, don't you think that sellers are the same across all marketplaces? Meaning, I guess, products would be the same, prices would be the same. How do we differentiate if we all have the same sellers across the marketplaces?
I think from a consumer perspective, you have in the marketplace world what you have in the retail world. You have lots of brands that are lots of retailers. So the question for the consumer is, what is the added value of this retailer or of this website? Is there different consumer experience? Is there some curation, some selection of products? Is there some specific marketing activation? Is there some tone I feel comfortable with? So it's really a matter of what are the drivers of differentiation in the retail world. Second, we make sure that our partners have the merchant they need to deploy their strategy. And then there is an opportunity for the marketplaces and the merchants to have and to build common commercial operations, a bit as retailers are doing with leading suppliers. Merchants are ready to do some specific deals, commercial operation, some exclusive products for marketplaces, if there is an interest for them to do so. So that's really a matter of, do you have access to the right merchants? And that's our commitment, and Octopia makes sure our partners have access to the right merchant. Then how do you create the right consumer experience, which will be differentiated from your competitors, from big platforms? And then how do you build some singularity, some differentiating factors in the offering, and by negotiating and building this kind of commercial relationship with the merchant? So clearly, you will have very different consumer experience across all marketplaces, across all the websites that are relying on Octopia to accelerate their business. But most important is not, am I differentiating from the other, but do I have the right contact, the right networks of partners to achieve what I want to offer to my consumer? And what we see today in the market, and what has incitated us to launch Octopia, is that we see that lots of website retailers are struggling to have the minimum level of merchants and products to be able to deliver this promise to their consumer. And clearly, once you fulfill the promise, you can create this difference in this age from a commercial perspective.
So, talking about the customer's experience, we do have a question about about fulfillment of the last mile experience. Is the implementation of fulfillment really necessary to launch marketplace? Is it a must-have?
I think it's a must-have in your marketplace strategy. You can't provide and can't compete with leading platforms if you don't provide a fulfillment solution to offer next day or day after delivery, and you can't control the quality of service as efficiently when merchants are shipping from their warehouse compared to when you ship from, I would say, premium warehouse networks such as Octopia Fulfillment. It's not necessarily mandatory to start from day one, but clearly it's something which must be in your roadmap. And when we look at the French market, which is why we know better, you have a very strong proportion of the parcels that are in what we call 1P, delivered directly by the retailer for themselves. You have more than 80% of the parcels that are shipped and with a delivery promise of less than 5 days. And the only marketplaces that can reach this level of quality today in France are Amazon and Cdiscount, because we have the right level of fulfillment. If in all other marketplaces have less than 30% of their parcels that have this 5-day promise. So clearly there is a strong gap in what the consumers see and what can be their decision in terms of purchase. If you don't provide fulfillment, you will lag behind the leading platform in terms of quality of service and on delivery promise. So yes, clearly it's something you need to have in your marketplace roadmap.
And because you mentioned quality, we have a similar question, not about the delivery experience, but the question around the counterfeits. How can I prevent counterfeits and illegal products on my platform?
It's the first one is in the Octopia platform. We already have identified, and we have some strong AI tools to identify a big proportion of counterfeits or wrong products. And then there is a matter of reactivity. You will have some alerts from consumers, from brands, from other merchants, and you need to make sure you treat them very efficiently. And that's something we have some partnership with some brands to make sure that we identify and we treat very, very quickly if we have some alerts. So that's really a matter of building the right AI tools, being very reactive in case of alerts, and be very to consider this topic as a priority one, and it's what we do at Octopia, and what we help our partners, our clients to do, because it's something you must be very active on this topic to make sure you don't offer and you don't give space to counterfeits or wrong products.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Thomas, for this. I propose we finish with the last few questions. I have two similar, which are what impacts, it's more about business development and the impact on the organization. What impacts such a project has on the organization of a retailer? And another one is how do you make sure that you're not losing your brand DNA when introducing millions of SKUs? So I guess the two are a little bit linked. The impact on the organization overall, and how do you pilot the fact that you move from 10K SKUs to probably 1 or 2 million of SKUs?
So I think the first one is it's something which if you really play the marketplace game and you want it to have an impact for your consumers, it will have an impact on your organization. For example, what we see for some of our customers, they've progressively merged the marketplace teams, commercial teams, and their purchase team to be in a kind of category management philosophy. Some other are building some strong commercial team that are creating some competition between the historical purchase teams and the new marketplace team. So that's really a matter of finding the right organization depending on your categories, but clearly you need to set up the right organization. And that's something we want to facilitate at Octopia by providing the right support, by sourcing, providing merchants that are already sourced, already scored, to make it easier and to avoid having to build teams with dozens of people to recruit merchants. So that's clearly something we help, and we know that's something which makes the project more scalable and easier to launch. The second point is on the brand DNA. There is clearly a marketplace opportunity for any retailer or any brand today because it's what consumers are looking for. But you need to build a marketplace that is consistent with your DNA. All marketplaces are not necessarily need to have millions of products, but the ambition is to have the right products and to provide the products consumers will be looking if they come to your website, if they come to your brand, and giving them the right consumer experience. And that's clearly what we do at Octopia. We have a kind of a program to help our customers build their marketplace strategy to make sure they have the right definition in terms of offering, and then we go for merchant sourcing, product sourcing, making sure we have the right product, the right merchants to make them successful. That's clearly something we work. It takes some weeks to build and to define that, but that's a key factor of success for the marketplaces. Because if you don't provide what your consumers are expecting, it will not work. It will not work because what your consumer wants, it's not technology. It's not having, I would say, a kind of fancy new project. It's, do I find the products I'm looking for? Do I have the right level of service, the right level of quality, the good prices? And that's what we want to build with our partners by giving them access to a huge network of merchants that are among the best merchants you can have, especially in Europe.
Okay, very good. I'm just asking in parallel if we have more questions, but it seems that we arrived to the end of this Q&A session. Thank you very much, Thomas. It was very clear and complete. Of course, I guess you do have more questions, even though you couldn't ask all of them. Please feel free to contact us. You may contact us either on LinkedIn, on the website. You have a form to complete your contact details, and then we call you back. You can request for a call, and the sales team will take contact with you and organize meeting where necessary. Thanks again, Thomas, for this Q&A session. Super interesting as usual, and we look forward to meeting you during the next webinar. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.